consultation on state media has begun at our studios, and on day one it's thrown up some interesting thoughts about the future for the state-owned enterprise. On Sunday night, the debate became somewhat heated over whether state media should be sponsored or not. Here's Roger Dwarka.
Like all good debates, it wasn't without its passion and disagreement. Round one, the question of whether the state media should be allowed to compete with the private sector for advertising space.
If we accept that the state is provider, educator and facilitator, we have to accept similarly that it is a supporter of the economy and it cannot function as a competitor.
However, veteran journalist Tony Fraser mounted an impassioned defense, asking why shouldn't the state media compete?
People have a right to communicate on the mediums that they're paying for, because inevitably, don't mind my good friend Mark White and so on, the advertisers, the money comes from people's pockets to support radio and television, and people have an inalienable right to communicate on the medium that they're paying for.
The question of whether state media should be allowed to compete with other broadcasters or should concentrate on producing local programming carried on for almost half an hour.
Why should I not compete with it? And I'm not saying that all of the state media, as I have defined it, should depend absolutely on 2-second advertising. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, why should we not compete?
On the other hand, the lawyer, cultural aficionado and newspaper columnist Martin Daly said the state broadcaster has an important function to perform.
I wouldn't have bothered with this. I wouldn't have bothered to come here, as much as I like you guys. I wouldn't have bothered to come here unless this is an opportunity to start, I'm repeating myself, to start another discussion about funding the arts. And in the context of the whole discussion of funding the arts, you then have to discuss what part of that funding is going to be allocated for the exposure of arts on television.
But, like all things related to taxpayers' money, the start of the debate will bring a range of opinions. Whether people agree with it or not is what the consultation is attempting to determine.
Is all of this that is being said here going to influence or create a policy? And how come this consultation has no reference? We should be responding to something. We're not responding to anything. So everybody say, well, I want to see news, I want to see more Indian program, I want to see more African program. What is that?
The consultation continues till Wednesday and will feature a variety of panelists and studio audiences as discussion continues on the future of state media. Roger Dwarka, C News.